Robert Nelson here again, back with lesson 6 of the MBK Entrepreneurship Training Series program, some or other. But we back and we ready to go. I'm so excited. I'm really impressed and amazed by the creative ideas that these young people come up and the things that they share with me about their business. They make me think of new concepts that I have never even fathomed before. But that's a part of the process of getting those creative juices flowing. So, what we've been doing in this process is making sure that we utilize the power of space repetition, which is the mother of skill, so that you can get these concepts ingrained into your subconscious mind. And you don't have to think about them, but they will automatically pilot your life and enable you to achieve the results that you desire. The first is the MBK Protocol. What is MBK? My brother's keeper. When was it founded? In 2014. By who? Barack Obama. For what? To help young men of color transition from one life stage to another. And we have a standard protocol going over each week's activity during this entrepreneurship training program so that you can retain that knowledge, because knowledge acquired is not power. Knowledge that you can retain, remember, and apply is power. Why MBK Entrepreneurship? Because it is our responsibility to create our own jobs and businesses. Just think about that for a moment. As long as we depend on people outside of our own communities to create jobs and businesses for us, we are forever enslaved and indebted to their provision. But we have the same creative capacity, if not greater, to be able to produce our own jobs, our own businesses. So let's use it. What is an entrepreneur? It's a person that takes the risk of owning and operating his or her own business. What does it take to be a successful entrepreneur? You have to buy low, sell high, and keep good records. How do you get rich? I was born rich. And you have to say that like you mean it. Because if you do, you know that you have great value you can bring to the table, because the reality is that the value that you possess is worth more than all the money in the world. So no, you start from a position of value and then you bring your value to the market. So on week 2, we covered what is an investment. An investment is money that is spent to make money. What are 2 types of investments? Debt, a percentage of the loan, and equity, a piece of the action. What is Ujama? Ujama means cooperative economics. It's when you have the ability to put your money together and accomplish something collectively that neither of you may have been able to achieve individually. Leverage the power of Ujama. What is money? Money is a medium of exchange, which means it has no intrinsic value. Its only value lies in what it can be exchanged or traded for. How do you get money? By communicating your value. So remember, you started from a position of value, which means you know that you have value because you were born rich. Then this process is designed to help you understand how to take the value that you already possess and communicate it to serve a market that will pay you in exchange. Week 3, how do you calculate your profit? Price minus cost equals profit. What is wholesale? Wholesale is when you buy something in volume. Now you can manufacture, but manufacturing, you buy the raw materials and you'll probably buy those in volume as well. But you have a greater profit as a manufacturer than you will as a wholesaler, unless you're just a manufacturer selling to wholesalers. Either way, wholesale is when you buy in volume. What is retail? It's when you sell to a customer or the end user. What is Nia? Nia is a Swahili word which means purpose. Week 4. What are the 6 questions that you must answer in order to create your business plan? Well, those questions are tied to a very simple poem that we went over, and some of you may have memorized it by heart as of now, and that is by Rudyard Kipling, that goes like this. I keep 6 honest serving men. They taught me all I knew. Their names were what and where and when and how and why and who. If you can answer those 6 questions in your plan, that means you can provide clear direction for yourself, for your team, for your customers, for your vendors, for your investors. But these are the key questions that you need to answer in order to have a coherent business plan. What's the difference between an idea and an ideal? An idea is just a thought. They come over 6,000 thoughts a day. But every thought that you get is not necessarily one that you may need to act on, but it may be one that you can add to a collection of thoughts to create an ideal, because an ideal is a thought embellished in vivid detail, intricate detail. What does Amani mean? Amani means faith. Amani is a Swahili word, which means faith. Why do you need a plan? You need a plan to guide your activities, not just yours, but those of your team, those of your suppliers. You need a plan so that you can think through in detail what steps you need to take to avoid unnecessary mistakes. Week 5 in review. What are the 3 steps to closing a sale? Connect with the prospect, communicate your value to them, and close the sale. Connect, communicate, and close. Or have a hook, a story, and an offer. The first is if you're in a relational selling where you're one-on-one. The other, both of these can be used interchangeably, but the thought is many times you may not personally see the prospect. It may be through an advertisement, correspondence, or some campaign that you're using to hook them in with a captivating headline or caption. Tell them a story about how your product and service is going to benefit their life, and make them an offer so that you give them an opportunity to pay you for your product or service. What does with them mean? With them means what's in it for me, not me like in me or you. It's what's in it for the customer. So when you're telling your story, try to veer away from the tendency to focus on what you have interest in about this transaction. Let your focus be upon how does this transaction affect, impact, and what interest does the customer have in this offer? So you want to position your offer that is of interest to the customer's needs, not focused on your own. What is a prospect? A prospect is a person that may buy your product or service. What is a customer? A customer is a person that does buy your product or service. And as I said before, the word customer comes from the same word that we get the word custom, which means they make it their custom to buy your product or service. So if you build a good relationship with a satisfied customer, you can guarantee or anticipate repeat business over and over again, as long as you're giving them good value. What does Kumba mean? Kumba is a Swahili word, which means creativity. Now, each week, we do a weekly review because, as I said, these concepts tie one into the other. Each idea builds upon the other idea, so that you can have a clear framework to build out your plan, to execute your plan, and to launch and profit with your business. Week 1, we dealt with Ujamaa, cooperative economics. Knowing that you already have value is critical to the first step in the process. Week 2 was Ujima, collective work and responsibility. Being able to build an effective team, because teamwork multiplies the value. So the collective value that you multiply by having a team produces greater value for every member of the team. Teamwork makes the dream work. Week 3, purpose, Nia. Deliver your value to your customers. Whatever the product or service that you have to offer should be related to the area of your personal interest or your purpose in life. Because when it is, you'll have a tendency to look deeper into it, have a greater interest in it, and become more thorough and a subject matter expert in that field because it's related to your purpose. Week 4, Amani, faith. You have to believe in your plan for the future. Now, when you make a plan, it has not happened yet. You're making a projection. But the thought is you have to have confidence in that projection and your ability to create the results that that projection conveys. Believe in your plan for your future. Week 5 was Kumba, using your creativity to create an irresistible offer, making them an offer that they cannot refuse. Last week's exercise was one of my favorite because it means somebody got paid. If y'all did this right, somebody got some money as a result of that exercise. If you didn't, you need to come see me because I can show you we'll do it again, and I guarantee the cash register will ring. We created a sales pitch. Words have power. If you put the right combination of words together, it's like being able to have the solution to a lock that opens the pockets of your prospects. Words have power, but you have to design the sales pitch with precision. Created a message to communicate our value. We made a list of prospects or potential people that might buy our product or service. Identify a group. It could be your friends, your family, your peers, people in your neighborhood, people that go to some of the same events that you go to your church, to your community center, to your, I don't know, your country club. I don't know, but you got some people that you see on a regular basis that you know them by name. They know you. Start with the people that you know. And then from those that you know, once you're providing them with a degree of service, you can ask for referrals to get additional business. We'll show you later how you go about identifying a targeted market and being able to put your message in front of that market so that you can market to even more or sell to even more people outside the sphere of your own influence. We presented them with our offer. Did you do it? If you didn't, you better go back and just do it over again because you know you'll make a sale unless you make some presentation. You got to ask. We delivered our message to our market. Now you need to master your message. When you master your message, you don't have to think about it anymore. It'll be on automatic pilot. And then you can deliver it to as many people as you desire in your market. The more people you talk to, the more hands you shake, the more money you make. So this is what we do every week. So you should not be amazed. We're using the power of one concept. I'm going to give you one business idea principle. I'm going to give you one example, one real life testimony of someone that looks like you, a young person that's an entrepreneur that's being very successful with their business enterprise so that you can believe that it's possible for you too. And we give you one exercise. Now, exercises are designed to build power. When you do physical exercise, you build strength. If you don't do the exercise, you won't have strength. That's just how that works, right? So if I give you these exercises and you don't do them, your ability to be successful with your business is going to be questionable. Now, you may find alternate exercises that work for you, and I'm okay with that. But the point is, you must exercise your powers to increase your capacity. Let me say that again. You must exercise your powers to increase your capacity. So do the exercises. Don't get me started. Here's our concept for the day. Concept for the day is science. Oh, wait a minute, Robert Nelson. What does science have to do with business and selling? I'm glad you asked. Entrepreneurship is a scientific process. Because it incorporates all the 6 steps of what we call the scientific method. And we'll find out about that in a moment. When you do it right, it's going to lead you from one discovery to the next, to the next, to the next. It'll become an ongoing learning experience. Scientific. Here is a chart of the scientific method. The first thing that you do in science, in every field of science, is that you make an observation. You look at your surroundings. You see what is, what is not. You see patterns, but you're just making an observation. You're not drawing any conclusions. In each one of the examples that we shared with these young entrepreneurs that are very successful in their business, each of them began by observing a need or a want that they saw in their environment. As a result of that observation, they asked a question. Asking a question not only is the key to opening in and unlocking the mind of your prospect, asking the right question will unlock the secrets of the universe. That's deep, but that's true. If you ask the right question when you make your observation, ideas will come to you, solutions, which if you find the solution to a problem that you face, 9 times out of 10, there are a multitude of other people that have that same problem or challenge that will be willing to pay you for that solution if they knew you had it. Make an observation, ask a question, and then form an hypothesis about the answer to the question. In essence, to say, okay, I made this observation, and I'm saying, if this, then if this, then what if I did that? And once you make the question, you start to develop what we call an hypothesis, saying, okay, if I do this, then I can solve that problem and receive this compensation. As an example, make a prediction based on your hypothesis. So we talked about closing ratios. So when you come up with a concept of a product or service that you want to offer to address an issue or solve a problem based on an observation that you made, you then make a prediction saying, okay, if I can reach these many people with my offer, I can generate this much money with my business. If I can build these many relationships or joint ventures, I can generate this much money with my business. You're making a prediction. Then, where the rubber meets the road is in the execution of the experiment. You have to make a test. That's why I said, when you go out and you start selling, don't be so bent on the idea that you have to sell. All you're doing is conducting an experiment. You're going to get results, I promise you. You may not always get a sale immediately, but from the things you learn, you will know how to make the adjustments that you need to make more sales. But you won't begin the discovery until you start taking the initial action by executing the experiment, delivering your pitch, soliciting or presenting to your prospects your product or service, your offer. Then you'll get results. Guaranteed. Once you get results, analyze those results. Did it work? Was my hypothesis correct? Which means, cha-ching, I got a winner. Was it incorrect? Did I do something wrong? Do I need to go back to the drawing board? So you see this arrow that goes back and try again, form a different hypothesis, make another prediction, do the experiment again, a different experiment, and analyze the results. If you do get correct results, report the results. Whether they're correct or incorrect, report the results, because by viewing your results, you start to get a clearer idea of what you need to change in order to produce the results or outcomes that you want. Here is the scientific method, step by step. Make an initial observation. Ask a question and do some research. Remember, I told you to look at your competitors in the market. See what other people are doing in that same space, addressing that same demand, providing a similar product or service. Form your hypothesis about the possibilities of your business. This is a part of your business plan projection. Plan a projection for your desired outcome. How much you're going to generate, how much is it going to cost you, how much effort is it going to take? Make a plan and project it. Then conduct the experiment to get results. This is very scientific. Remember, the objective is not always to create the successful results, which are identical to what you envision from your initial plan, but just to create some results that will give you new information so that you can make some adjustments and improve upon your plan. Measure your results and then alter your approach. Even if your results are successful, you still, by measuring those results, can decide that there's a way to alter your approach so that you can make it even more successful, grow and scale your business. But this is the scientific method, and it's applied to entrepreneurship, business, and sales. So tell me, what were your results from your experiment from last week? What did you do? Did you create a sales pitch? If not, I don't know what you're waiting for. If I were to tell you that I would give you a collection of words that were magical in nature, and that if you would say these words to a prospect, it would be like casting a magical spell over their mind that would incline them to reach into their pocket and give you money. If I gave you those collection of words, would you go and say them to the prospect? That's exactly what I did. I gave you the formula. I gave you the words. I promise you, you say those words to prospects, some of them are going to reach in their pocket and give you money. But I want you to take ownership of your own sales pitch. Create the pitch so that you put your personality into it, not mine. It's you. Make it your voice. Make it your passion. Make it authentically your own, but make it. Then make a list of prospects. Did you make a list of your prospects? I'm gonna have to send some of y'all. They don't have yellow pages. No, I'll send you to the internet or somewhere where you can find some names, make a list, and talk to some people about your product or service. How many prospects did you talk to? Now, how many you put on your list? How many did you talk to? And I'm not talking about saying hello, goodbye. How many did you deliver your doggone presentation to? And how many sales did you close? Some of you are happy about this process because I see your eyes lighting up. When I see you and I hear you and you respond to me saying the results that you're receiving, I know it works. I knew it would work. Some of you are uncertain about whether it works because you are not working it. How do I know? Because it happens every time. Okay, what do you think you could do better? So when you go through creating your sales pitch, making your list of prospects, talking to your prospects, counting up the sales you close, just look at what you could do better. What was it that you did that could be improved upon that can increase your positive results? It's always something. Then once you've perfected it, don't change it. No, I'm sorry. You're going to have to change it, I promise you, because times change, conditions change. If you stay stagnant, you'll fall behind. You're going to always have to improve and modify and change because the society that you live in is changing. The customers and the way that they do business is changing from day to day and at a more rapid pace than ever before in the history of humanity, as you probably already know. So look at what you can do better. Modify, change, and improve. Here is our example for today.
America has a long and storied legacy of Black entrepreneurship.
I am 15 now.
If you can believe it, Corey Nieves of Mr. Corey's Cookies began his big business journey more than a decade ago.
So while everyone was playing on the playground, you were building a business.
Yeah, I was selling cookies outside of the house.
It did not take long for the company to take off. He and his mother incorporated, fine-tuned the all-natural, no preservative recipes, and the rest is history.
Started getting more accounts, selling online. We sell internationally now, nationwide, and it just started growing after that.
This is incredible.
Thank you, thank you.
Even better, this 10th grader's sense of humility is just as satisfying as the cookies he sells to the masses.
Do you realize what a role model you are for a lot of young Black and brown men out here?
Yeah, people tell me, my mom tells me, people tell me I'm a role model to them.
A role model who is hands-on and really knows his way around his product.
It's not bad, it's pretty good.
Which became painfully clear as Corey tried to teach me how to bake and decorate Valentine's Day sugar cookies.
Does that look like a heart?
I don't think a well, not well, like, I don't know.
Cookie Mom in the background with the feedback.
Speaking of Cookie Mom, real name Lisa Howard, she wanted her son to have the spotlight during our visit and declined to go on camera, but she had no problem being heard.
At least you tried, you know?
Thanks, Corey.
Always say you tried.
I'm trying here.
You tried.
As Corey led the way around their Inglewood Cliffs, New Jersey test kitchen, we also discussed his company's charity work. Yes, in addition to being a full-time high school student, Corey, who has aspirations to seek higher education in Oxford, England, has also formed a partnership with the Boys and Girls Club of New York.
You started a nonprofit.
Yeah.
Corey Cares.
Yeah, Mr. Corey's Cares.
Mr. Corey's Cares.
I'm going to do an event with them coming up soon. Just spreading love and joy and make sure everyone's happy.
What made you want to do that?
Well, you always want to give back to the community to help you because the community is people, you know, who help you. So you got to give back.
In Inglewood Cliffs, New Jersey, Jay Dow, Pix 11 News.
Corey Kitchen. Corey killing it. This is Mr. Corey in 10th grade. Mr. Corey's Kitchen. Okay, cookies. What did you learn from that situation? What did you learn? Why is his product unique? Because everyone needs a unique selling proposition. His product was unique because he said that he doesn't have anything in his product that you cannot pronounce. No artificial anything. It's all natural. which is rare in the dessert industry. His unique selling proposition was an all natural, healthy, and delicious cookie. How vast is his market? Now keep in mind, he started when he was 5, but he's already international, national and international reach with his product. Selling online, I encourage you to go to his website. Has a very interesting automated presentation. Why does he have a nonprofit? Now, a nonprofit is a business that you're in business, but not for the purpose of just generating a profit. Now, you can increase your revenue streams, but a part of the purpose of a nonprofit is that it continues to put money back into the community or into things that the nonprofit has been formed to support. So whether you make $10 million, you can have a nonprofit, but the purpose of you being in business is not just for the generated profit. It's for you to do business that you can contribute to a cause that's important to that nonprofit. His cause was giving back to the community, because his reasoning is that it was the community that built his business. Without those customers that supported him as he began, he would not have the level of growth and development in his business that he's enjoying today. He recognizes that, appreciates that, and through the law of reciprocation, he's giving back to those that gave to him to make him who he is today. What is his education plan? Well, he's in the 10th grade, but he's already planning to go to Oxford in England. I don't know why, but that's a high-end school. But that's his area of interest. He wants to go to Oxford in England, and he has a plan. So here is how you start your own business using the scientific method. Now, keep in mind, as we went through this whole program, the plan was to engage you as a team, as a group, so you could quickly learn about the components that would be essential or necessary in order to start putting together a business. What are the different compartments that a business represents? What are the different questions that you have to answer in order to create your business? How do you go about creating a projection or calculating your profit margin? All of the things that you learn throughout the course of these lessons, working together as a team, you can continue to use as a team, or you can do your own individual business. This competition for the $2,500 is not just to the team. It's either for the individual. You can be an individual. You can create a team of your own. Some of you have parents that are helping you with your business idea, which I encourage, because it gets them involved in the process. They can be on your team, but you have to be a member of MBK or MSK in order to win this competition. But you can have whatever team you desire, but this is the scientific method. And I encourage you to share this with whatever team that you have. What observations have you made? What is it that you see in your surroundings, in your community, that may be a problem that you can solve or opportunity that you can seize? What questions have you asked and what research have you done? Have you looked at what your competitors are doing in this market? People who are offering a similar product or service. What research have you done? What product or service can you offer to address this issue or whatever it was that you discovered from your observation? How much do you predict that you can earn with this business? And when will you launch your initial sales campaign? This is your experiment. You make your projection and then you conduct your experiment. Based on your results, what will be the next action you take? Now, I encourage you to consider, regardless of whether or not you want to do business independently or as a collective group, make sure that you yourself and your group are applying this scientific structured method, because it works without fail. It removes some of the anxiety and tension of trying to create success by giving you the ability to know that your only goal is to create results. Success will come as you analyze your results and then alter your approach. Kujichagulia is a Swahili word for today. Kujichagulia means self-determination. That means you decide who you're going to be, how you're going to show up in the world, who you're going to be perceived as. And it's not so much about how people perceive you as to how you perceive yourself and how you want to project. What image do you want to project to the world of who you are and or what your business is? What kind of image do you want to brand? Let me tell you what a brand is. A brand is something that they take like a hot iron. And originally what they would do, they would heat up the iron and they would brand cattle. They would put their initials on the iron so that when they brand this cattle, anytime you would find that cattle, whether it was in somebody else's field, you would know whether or not it's your cattle because it has your brand on it. It belongs to you. The brand was unremovable. It was burned into the skin. So when you establish your brand, you establish your identity. This is your identity, your business's identity. So I want you to use what you've learned to create your own business identity. Do it as an individual, or you can do it as a class, or you can do it as a team of your choice. It can include your relatives, your peers, but whatever your business model is, do it utilizing the scientific method. Create your business name and logo. A logo is a symbol, something that represents what your business is. Could be your initials, could be an image or a picture. As you look through and research your competitors, as we talked about, you'll notice what type of logos, what type of names they use. Also, come up with a tagline and slogan like McDonald's. I'm loving it. I think I have to pay for saying that. I'm not sure. Well, don't worry about that. The point is, come up with your own tagline, a slogan for what brand that you want to project, the brand image that you want to project to your market. Decide how you want to be viewed in the marketplace. We talked at one point about there being 3 tiers in the market. There's your standard middle of the road product or service. And you'll notice it's like if you go to the gas station or almost anywhere, there's always the mid-range product, there's the economy version, and then there's the luxury version. So the economy, the premium. Decide how you want to be viewed in the market, not just whether or not you want to be the high end, the low end, the mid-range, but in whatever category you're going to be placed in, how is it going to be perceived as far as your business personality? What do they think of when they think about you and your business? When I think about this Corey's Cookies, Mr. Corey Cookies, I'm going to say Mr. because he deserves respect. I think about the fact that he's created a natural product for something that people love to consume, but he's made it in such a way that it's not as dangerous for them as consuming some of the other off-the-shelf, regular, mass-produced cookies. That's brilliant. Project that image in all of your marketing materials. Now, as you see me here, every time I do one of these, I'll have the MBK logo displayed prominently because I'm branding. I'm branding right here, MBK. We got MBK swag. We got MBK hats, hoodies. The point is, the more you project the image of who you are in the market, the more people will recognize you. You know, when you see the Nike swoosh, you don't have to see the word Nike because that's been branded in your mind that that symbol represents that company. You can do the same. Brand your image upon the minds of the masses so that they know who you are, even when they're not trying to think about it. They can just hear your tagline or see your logo and automatically think about what you represent to them as a company. And it should be good. Here is your challenge. Now we're coming upon the close of this process and there's going to be some selections made, but here is your challenge. Challenge is create your own business idea. Now you can use the one that you guys have been collecting, guys or gals have been working on collectively in this process. The choice is totally yours, but come up with a business idea that you present to win this contest. Make a business plan. You need to write it out. Secure paying customers. And I've given you the magic formula, the incantation, if you will, to actually cast your spell upon the customers and get them to give you money. But use one of your own because you want to really make it your personal, authentic self, your own voice. Apply to win the contest. Now, here's your assignment. Oh, you thought it was going to be different. Go to mbkcontest.com. Follow the instructions and get ready to win. Those of you, and I want to applaud those of you who have already responded, because what happens when you respond to this offer, then I give you additional information and additional tools and resources that you can use to be more effective with your business. This is an ongoing relationship. And I'm so proud and honored to have this opportunity to be instrumental in helping you make your business dreams realities. This is Robert Nelson with the MBK Entrepreneurship Training Series. You're the dreamer. Let's make it a reality.